Mason was brought to California by a slaveholder. She discovered California and opposed slavery and soon gained freedom. She bought a piece of land, and the land value was increased from $250 to $200,000.
Catherine's husband was a lawyer. He made really good money.
Most of the people that came to California were called the 49ers. 80% were American, and most were young males. The rest were foreigners. First arrived in San Francisco, and San Francisco became trade center. It was a stopping point for many travelers. Staking a claim. Many 49ers had no experience staking claims, but they searched for gold. They searched for gold along banks and streams, shallow surface mine. Area ran 70 miles along rivers. They prospected for gold and agreed to share the gold.
What made everyone want to go to California?
Well, of course, the main reason people came to California was for gold, and they mainly did this by boats and wagons, and I prefer a boat because I think it's really way safer than a wagon. Because some people, I've heard stories where the wagon breaks down and then they gotta go on foot, and sometimes that they don't even want to get to it because they can't do their entire journey. It's really sad.
What trails did people travel on, and what were they like?
Well, the main trails that people took were the California Trail and the Oregon Trail, but these were all famously, especially in winter times when it became rough and people caught diseases, especially like what happened in the Donner Party.
Did you often trade goods instead of paying for them?
That definitely matters, like who and where you traded from, and if you had valued rare items, then people could just run up to your location and just take them from you. And sometimes, if you dared to go near them, they would attack you, and it became very bad sometimes.
How did you discover gold on the job?
When John Sutter sent me to work on the sawmill, I had to go get my tools where I left them in the shed, and when I was walking across the river, I was very observant, and I found this little shiny thing that reflected from the sun, and it was a piece of gold. And I think it was amazing that I found a piece of gold because I started an entire rush.
Thank you.
We began traveling in the spring of 1846, while our leader, George Donner, led us west. But once we got to the Sierra Nevadas, something terrible had happened. We got stuck in the winter snow while our leader tried to take a shortcut that would cut the travel time by a couple of weeks. We ran out of food and water very quickly. Once people started dying off, our group members had no choice but to turn to cannibalism. But we had to mark our babies so the parents wouldn't eat their own children. In February of 1847, a rescue party had found us. Only 47 of the original 82-person group had lived.
As you see here in this picture, there were African Americans, Native Americans, Mexican Americans, European Americans, Chinese Americans, and women.
I'm here with a Chinese immigrant currently mining in the gold rush, and I just wanted to ask him a few questions. So, why did you come to America in the first place?
I came to America because my family is very poor, and I came in hopes of making money.
Was it shocking when you first got here? If so, why?
I was overwhelmed at first by the amount of people in the camps, but after a while I became friends with most of them.
Did the Americans treat you with respect?
Very few Americans treated me with respect. They placed high monthly taxes on all immigrants, and they also raided some of the camps. The legal system favored Americans over immigrants too.
Was it expensive in California? If so, what was?
Mainly mining equipment such as food, denim jeans, pickaxes, shovels, and pans.
Did you come to America only to mine?
The main reason I came here was to mine, but back in China I was a very talented shoemaker.
Do you miss your family and your homeland?
Yes, I miss my homeland very much, but I especially miss my wife and 2 daughters.
Okay, last question. Are you settling permanently in California?
I don't know if I want to stay, but if I get rich, I'll bring my family here. If I don't, I'll go home.
Cool. Thank you for your time. Hope you strike it rich in the gold rush.
Thank you.
After the gold rush reached its peak by 1852, more than $80 million was pulled in by gold mining itself. At the end of the decade, the population was over 350,000. California was able to become a state only after 2 years of becoming an American territory. It became the 31st state. This all sounds good, but there are some major bad effects too, such as inflation. Inflation destroyed the Californian economy because it made everything so much more expensive for newcomers. And another big obstacle was that the state was completely isolated from the rest of its country. This was fixed by the Transcontinental Railroad, but the state had to wait over 20 years for it to be finished. It was finished in 1869 and gave California its means to grow the economy.
49er during the population boom. So, did you come to California during the gold rush, or did you already live here?
I already lived here, and I could tell that there were more and more immigrants that came to California during the gold rush.
Did you help build the Transcontinental Railroad?
No, but I respect all the people who came and built it so that we could be a part of the east side of America.
Did you get any other job offers while you were living in California?
Yes, but I turned them all down because I thought they would get in the way of family.
That is